I'm going to be teaching you my number one weight loss tool. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Pirch, and this is episode 4 of Carnivore Women Uprising.
Welcome to Carnivore Women Uprising with certified life and weight coach Elizabeth Pirch. Each week, Elizabeth will teach you how to rewire your desire and retrain your brain so you can have the strong, healthy body and active, adventurous life you want.
Today I'm going to do things a little differently. First, I'm really glad you're here and listening. Thank you. Second, I want to thank those of you who have given the podcast 5 stars on iTunes. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. There was one review from Think Smart Health, and they say, I'm glad to have found a podcast that I can really relate to. This is great. Thanks for the review. I'll be choosing more reviews or emails to mention on the podcast in the future. Third, I have a list if you hadn't noticed. Here we go. Third, I'm going to try and be more natural on today's podcast. I guess what I'm saying is that I'm going to try to be more like me and speak from my notes instead of writing every single word down that I want to say so I don't forget what it is I'm trying to get across. So that means I might get rambly, and it means that I will mess up the pronunciation of some of my words. And it also means that I might not get the word order correct in some of my sentences. That's the way it is. I'm sorry ahead of time. I am dyslexic, and it really shows up in my speech when I get nervous, like when I'm recording a podcast. My mind will mix up sounds in word order, and when my mouth interprets what I'm thinking, it doesn't always come out right. People around me lovingly tell me this happens to everyone sometimes, my husband especially, and I know that. I'm just really self-conscious about it. And because I'm working on accepting my wonderful self, and I am encouraging you to do the same, I'm just going to do the best I can here. Okay? My wonderful husband Bill tells me that he doesn't even notice it happening very much anymore. His brain does the translation for him. He also said, that's what my friends and family do too, so it's no big deal. And I get it, and he's right, but I'm still self-conscious about it. I have a friend, and we were besties for a lot of years. I met her husband when we were new friends, and he's a great guy. So when I met him, we were over at their house, and he was sitting at the dining room table. And I noticed right away that when he talked, occasionally he had a facial tic. He blinked very slowly now and again when he was talking. At first, I was confused. My new friend's husband is winking at me. What am I supposed to think here? I didn't say anything to my girlfriend about it ever. Then Bill and I go over for dinner, a few weeks later, and we have a great time. And I didn't mention the blinking at all to Bill. And after we go home, Bill mentions the winking. And I told him I had noticed it too, but I just didn't say anything. Well, life went on. And it wasn't very long before I didn't see anything out of the ordinary when I talked to my girlfriend's husband. He didn't stop winking, I just stopped seeing it. I grew to love him and his wife, and we all became terrific friends. His slow, gentle wink is just how he is. My girlfriend and I never talked about it. I don't think she ever noticed him doing it after the 20 plus years of them being together. They're so cute. So coming back around to me being dyslexic and mixing up my words, I'm hoping after a while of listening to me, maybe you won't notice it at all. So let's get on to this and let's talk about my number one weight loss tool. The Daily Thought Download is more than a weight loss tool. I think it's one of my top life tools. Daily Thought Download gives you a window into your brain and what you're thinking. It's so important. We think about 60,000 thoughts on a given day. A lot of thoughts, some more, some less. And the problem with that is that these thoughts are the tapes that run our lives. And we're not even aware of them. Only a fraction of them are we aware of. And the way that our brain works is that our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings drive our actions. So thoughts, feelings, actions. So whatever we are doing or not doing in our life is coming from the thoughts that we think. So it's really, really important to take a look at the thoughts. The best way to look at your thoughts is to get them out on paper. Just take a piece of paper or your journal or whatever you want and a pen or pencil or crayon, I don't care, and just start writing and give yourself about 5 minutes tops. Just keep writing until 5 minutes has elapsed. You can set a timer or whatever, but you really don't need more than 5 minutes, I promise. And if you can't think of what to write, sometimes I have been known to write, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. Here I am writing on this piece of paper, and the pen is on the paper, and I'm scribbling down words. And just do that until the words come. Prompts are also a really good way to get started. Most of the time, I'll write at the top of the paper, what is the matter? What's the matter, love? What's the problem? Then I start writing. And I write and I write and I write. No editing, no going back and reading what I wrote. Nothing like that. Just write, write, write. Stream of consciousness. And after I'm done my thought download, sometimes I'll put the paper down and go do something else or get dressed, or usually I do this in the morning. But then I'll come back to the paper and I'll read what I wrote. Then I'll look at the thoughts. And I'll read the story through and I'll read the story again. And then when I go through the second pass, I'll decide what is fact and what's drama. Now, deciding what's fact and what's drama is a little confusing, or it can be tricky. Not really confusing, but it can be tricky. So facts are neutral. They don't have any emotion tied up in them. So they don't make you feel any way. They're like facts, like I'm sitting here in a chair, I'm breathing, the sky is above me, I'm in my house. All those things are facts. Drama is everything else. And you don't really get this right away when you start doing thought downloads. You think that everything is a fact. It's not a fact. Most of our lives is drama. This is really important. So let me tell you a story. Today, in the United States, it is Independence Day. It is Saturday, July 4th. I'm recording a podcast. I'm at home. And Bill is not at home. He's out on the range having fun with his friends. And you might be able to tell by the tone of my voice that I'm not super excited about the arrangement that we have. I didn't realize that he was going to take today and run a match at the range for everyone else to have fun. Because usually the 4th of July weekend we go camping, and that's what I thought that we were going to do. If not go camping, I thought that we were going to spend this time together. But we're not spending the time together because he is at the range and I am at home. The problem with all of this is that I didn't get the memo that he would be unavailable today. I didn't even get the memo that he was going to be on the range yesterday or Monday, and I knew that he was going to be on the range on Tuesday. He had a couple of lessons this week. He hasn't been really good at communicating when he was going to be gone, and that's fine, but actually it's not fine. Over the past couple of weeks, he has made an increasing amount of plans which he hasn't told me about. Now, he doesn't have to run his life through me. In my brain, in the manual that I have, my marriage manual of life, It says when two people love each other and they care about each other, that they communicate with each other when they're going to be gone if it's outside the normal times they're usually gone, like for work. Well, now I need to back up and explain something here. So, Bill owns the Alaska Gun School. Actually, we own it together, and we're both firearm instructors, and that's what he's doing. He's out on the shooting range. He is a competitive shooter as well. In addition to teaching gun lessons and competitive shooting, he is also the match director for shooting matches out at the range, and that is what he's doing today. So, 3 separate occasions this past week, he has made plans to go out to the range that he didn't let me know about, and where it really kind of like ruined it really, let me back up. He didn't ruin anything, but where I let myself get disappointed was I thought we were going to have this weekend together, and then we didn't have it together, and then he had the match, and then I guess, to be brutally honest, and perhaps this is TMI, too much information, so if my kids are listening, Josie, Josh, and Robbie, maybe you want to close your ears. I thought that Bill and I were going to have a special grown-up cuddle time this morning before he left. So I woke up, no Bill. I get out of bed, and it's before 6 in the morning. I get up, I go, no Bill. I go downstairs, no Bill. Bill is in the hot tub scrolling through Facebook. He's not in bed with special cuddle time with me. He's in the hot tub scrolling on Facebook, and that's when I just had enough. I asked him, when are you gonna leave? I wasn't very happy. I told him that being gone on Independence Day was not okay with me, and that I had tried to make it okay, but it still wasn't okay with me, and I was sad and mad and disappointed. Well, we talked a little bit, and then he got ready to go, and he said he was sorry, and I said I was sorry, and he said that he loved me, and I told him I loved him, and then he went on to his match. So, that basically was my thought download this morning. Now, you might have totally been sucked right into my drama, and you could relate to what I was saying, and you thought that my disappointment and my sad and my mad might have been even legit, because I certainly thought it was legit because I was sucked into all that drama, right? So I had to look at my thought download and say, okay, what is drama and what is what are the facts here? So the facts are, Bill is my husband. I love him. He loves me. And that's it. All the rest of that was drama. And it took actually putting all that on paper for me to be able to wrap my head around how I was creating the feelings with my thoughts. My thoughts were, he's done this again. This is going to be my life. He's so inconsiderate. Why doesn't he think about me? Everybody's more important than I am. I mean, there was a whole long list of thoughts that I had, but none of those thoughts are true. I know that I am the most important thing to Bill ever. I know he loves me. And I know also that this just slipped his mind. He didn't do it on purpose, and he wasn't being malicious about it. But my mind wouldn't let me see that kind of from a neutral standpoint until I had actually written the words down on a piece of paper. So let's swing all the way back around and talk about how the thought download lets you see your brain. Because we don't know what's in our brain. All I knew this morning was that I was kind of ticked off, I was disappointed, and I was having a pity party for me. So, my friend, this is what I'm going to suggest and offer to you, is that you get out a piece of paper once a day. I like to do it in the morning, and put at the top of the paper, what is going on today, and then dump and download all that onto a piece of paper. Then come back to the paper and separate what is fact from the drama. Looking at the facts will help you adjust your perspective to what's really going on and allow you to take a broader look at your problem so that you can be in a better position to solve it. Do a thought download in the morning. I think that's when the best time is, or you can do one anytime that you're having a problem. On the next podcast, I'm going to teach you exactly what to do with a thought download so that it can be the most awesome weight loss tool ever for you. Okay. All right. Before I go, I also want to check up with the selfie thing, the selfie project. I guess that's what I'm calling it. Did you listen to last week's podcast? Did you do a new selfie? Did you put it on your phone? Well, you know what time it is. It's time to make a new selfie on your phone. And next podcast, I will actually tell you what I've been doing. So until then, I want you to have a great 4th of July Independence Day for those of you in the States. And for those of you who are not in the States, I wish you the very best weekend ever. Thank you. And until next time, have a great week. Do you want more? I have a free weight loss mini course on my website. You can sign up at www.elizabethpirch.com.